Hello everyone, this is Abu Khan Kulkarni. I have secured the rank of 588 in the UPSC Civil Services examination this time, and I have secured 107th rank as well in the Indian Forest Service exam this time. Welcome to EVA IAS. Here we are going to discuss how we should write an answer for the CSE mains examination. We are particularly dealing with the mains answer writing now. Here we will tell the step-by-step way that how to approach any given mains answer in the examination. See, for the UPSC Civil Services examination, there are two kinds of the question. One will be for the 10 marker that will have, if you see the 10 marker questions, it will have a word limit of 150 words and it has been given with the 2 pages. And similarly, when we say the 15 marker question, this is the 15 marker question and it will be around 250 words, the word limit, and it will have the 3 pages. This is the overview of the mains answer in the UPSC Civil Services examination. But see, always remember the word limit is there and the page limit also there. And moreover, whenever you are telling, you should use some diagrams, flow chart, bar graph or the pie chart to enhance the value of your answer. Suppose we are talking about the population of India. Suppose this is the map. Here, whenever you want to mention the states which have the higher population and the state which have the lower population, you can just mention like that. You can just mention like that. This is the developed states, and here there is low population. Just this, the graph is enough. You can put the graph like that. So it does not mean that you have to put the larger map. It is just you can make a smaller map as well with the context. Suppose if you have to show only the Northeast India, then you can just see like this only. You just say this is the map of India showing Northeast India. So, and even in the southern parts, you can just mention like that. No need to write the full diagram for this one. So this is the map for the mains answer writing. And see, first of all, we will take one question and we will decide how it can be approached, particularly for the mains answer writing. See, this is the 2 pages. If suppose the question is problems of Indian agriculture. Suppose the question is elaborate. See, 10 marker, 150 words. See, in this question, they have asked only the problems of Indian agriculture. It does not mean that you are not going to give the suggestions. You have to give the suggestions. At least like 40% of the page. This is. Till then, here you can give the suggestions as well. Even though suggestion has not been asked in the question, they have told elaborate. You can mention this is the main demand of the question. That should cover around 60 to 70% of your page. So one full page will write on the problems of agriculture till here, and after that we will give the suggestion, even though they have not asked. And second thing, always pay attention to the keyword which has been asked. See, this is the elaborate. If sometimes they can critically evaluate. See, when they ask to critically evaluate, you have to show the other side of the coin as well. Suppose if I say Indian Constitution has been successful so far. Critically evaluate. See, if I tell Indian Constitution has been successful so far and critically evaluate, here the means that you are telling the positive and you will substantiate this statement. After that, you will give the counter argument that Indian Constitution so far has not succeeded also because there are some limitations. So this is the counter argument. So in the counter argument, you have to mention that's why the name critically evaluate. You have to tell the other side of the coin as well. And whenever there is elaborate, you have to mention the problems and you will give the solution. And sometimes they will just say the discuss the problems of Indian agriculture. Even at that point, you will give some suggestions which is in the right direction. So this is the way to answer. Now see, in the problems of Indian agriculture as well, you can think from very 2 or 3 different models. The first thing is think in a cycle. Suppose if it is for the agriculture, you just think from the seeds. What is the problem of Indian agriculture? First of all, the seed, hybrid seeds. We don't have the hybrid seeds at all. First think from the perspective of the seeds. In Indian situation, we have the hybrids only for the rice and the wheat, but we don't have the hybrids for millets and the pulses. So this is the first problem. You just think in a logical and in a circular manner. See, now the seeds are there. Next you think about the irrigation, whether the irrigation is there in India or not. And after that, you just see about the plant protection chemicals, fertilizers. See, this is the fertilizers. You just tell that we are not applying the recommended doses of the fertilizer. What the farmers will do is they will inadvertently they spray the urea for every crop without even knowing how much of the urea should be used, and actually we should use a different kind of the fertilizer. It's not just the urea. So you just mention the problems of the fertilizer. Then after that you mention the irrigation. In India we hardly have 50% of the land which is under the irrigation. So the third is the irrigation. Then you fourth you can mention about the mechanization. In India we do not have the mechanized tillers. What we have the bullocks so far. So we are using that one. So this is the logical and the flow approach. And after the mechanization, you go for the harvesting. What is the harvesting? We do not have the mechanized harvester at all. If it is a mango fruit, if it is a papaya fruit, we are collecting it, harvesting it manually by the hand. Whenever you are doing with the hand, the efficiency is very, very low. So you can mention that one. Unlike that of the Western world, there the mechanized harvest is there. Then after the harvest, we just mention the problems of the processing. See, in India we hardly process anything. Suppose there is a tomato is there. So you can see in the roadside there are many tomatoes are lying on the roads because of the low prices. Because we don't have the harvesting facility and processing facility. So see, whenever they are asking the problems of Indian agriculture, you will list down in a way, in a length. And after that, this is the one type to handle the mains question. Other type will be the stakeholders. See, first one will be the cycle approach. Second will be the stakeholders. See, for the stakeholders, we will take one question. If I take, if society has to be moral, if officers has to be moral, then what can be done in the home? See, if there is a civil servants in an institution, how you will make them the moral? So in this case, you can think in the direction of the stakeholder. See, if there is an officer, then you just think about the parents. How the parents, they will make that officer a ethical person and a moral person. Suppose there is a mother and a father. They will tell the moral stories and they will tell how the person should be there in their life. Like how they are behaving in the family, how they are behaving with the women, how they are behaving with the elders. So this is what the first part. And second part, the teachers. How the teachers can bring in the school level. And then the third, the friends. You just think about the friends and the peer group. And then you think about the government. What the government is doing. for all the people there is a for all India services there is a conduct rules of 1964. Under that there has been a code of conduct for the officers that they have to follow to be ethical persons. So this is the laws. Then what is other than then after that one there is a Prevention of the Corruption Act 1988. You cannot do the corruption and you cannot misuse your own office, even though it's your own, but you will not use for your personal users. So this is the stakeholder approach. You can think in the stakeholder approach. So this is one of the second way. The first way is the cycle approach. Second way is the stakeholder approach. Then this is the way you will think about the whatever the main question is there. You will think in this direction. And third, see. If every time there will be question on the MSME, because as we know in India there 60 to 70% of whatever the industry has been, they are from the MSME only. So suppose the question is discuss how MSMEs can be developed. See, this is a company. You just think from the scratch. Now the company, see, whenever you are telling how it can be developed, you just think from first of all establishment or incorporation. If a company has to be established, suppose there is no company at all in a particular place, the first requirement is the land. First is the land. Nowadays, getting the land is too much difficult. Whenever we see for the road infrastructure or any kind of the infrastructure, the first problem is the land. Because of this one act, RFCTARR Act 2013. This is the Land Act. This act has been too much of the strict, and the compensation which you have to provide for the owner is too much high compared to the Land Act of 1854. Whenever you see that act and this one act, this is too much of the compensation has to be given. Because of this one, the land issue is there. The first thing is you think from the cycle approach now. First is the land approach, then the laws. First in the Companies Act. See, whenever you incorporate a company, you have to get the number of the clearances. First, you have to get the environmental clearances. Air Act of 1981, then Environmental Protection Act, and if it is in the coastal area, then you have to get the coastal clearance as well. And if it is in some defense area, then you have to get that clearances. So there are many clearances has to get, and that too the many institutions are there. You have to go to the different ministries. So to award that one single portal has been created by the government. So under that, the Companies Act, it has the incorporation of the company has been very simple now. So we can mention like that, the incorporation of the company, the availability of the land, then the third is the fund. Whenever you establish a company, you need the fund with the shareholders. How much of the shares you are getting, and what is the contribution of the FDI and the FIR in this context. This is the fund. And then after that one, the manpower. Who are there in case of the MSMEs? The persons, they are working, they are not being formally trained. When you are not training your own the employee, how can you expect them to be more efficient in the functioning? So you have to go for the skill training here. This is the main reason. Now funds, functioning is there, then the production of the IPR. Suppose the company has making the medicines. Suppose the company making some drugs or some new designs of the industries or new product and services. They have to get registered to IPR. IPR registration has been very difficult here in India. And even if you are mentioning, if you are getting the IPR, that the production is very difficult. Sometimes the violation of the patent will happen. So this is the main. And then after that one, the marketing. MSME products they are not being completely processed and they are not being packaged in a very superficial way. Suppose if you say this is the Lay's chips, if you check the normal chips, see In a normal chips packet, even though the both are of the 5 rupees only or the 10 rupees only, the normal chip they will give the too many chips, but in the Lays they will give very small quantities of chips. But even though the people always prefer the Lays, why? Because of the brand name, the marketing that has been not there for the MSME. So this is the major problem for the MSMEs, that even though they make the products and the services, but they are unable to make it to the consumers. The consumers not being preferred. So because of the market issue. So you have thinking from a starting to the end now. So even if in the middle you can mention about the dispute resolution. See. See, whenever there are the MSME and when they have any kind of a disputes, then they have to go to the court. Whenever we know there are many cases which has been pending in Indian court system, and moreover this one ADR, that is mediation, arbitration and the reconciliation. So alternative dispute resolution system, ADR. Even though ADR system is not that much the working in India, so these are the major reasons. So you can mention the reasons like that, and you think like that. Whenever you are thinking about the company, you think the funds and the incorporation of the company, then the availability of the land, then the functionaries, the skill development, after that the marketing of your products and the getting the IPR. So these are the main things you have to think. And then what should be there in your answer? See, this one, the question, this is the intro. Introduction is just, you have to briefly write in 3 to 4 sentences. 3 to 4 lines. This one, 2, 3, 4. That's it. Don't write the intro in 6, 7 lines. No. Intro should be very, very short and it should introduce the topic. Suppose there is the population. Then you can mention the national population policy has been framed and it has this much of the target. That's it enough. This is just your giving the introduction. Suppose there is a question on the election commission. Then you can mention Election Commission of India is a constitutional body under the Article 324 of the Indian Constitution. That's it, enough. This is the introduction. Introduction, you are mentioning, defining the keyword in the question. Whenever there is a keyword, suppose what are the problems of Indian agriculture? Then you can mention that agriculture has been contributing this much to Indian GDP, and some of the problems are like this one. You can mention and this is close. 3 or 4 lines, that's enough for the introduction. In the introduction, you can mention even the quotes and quotes by some persons, like eye for an eye will make your whole world blind. That you can mention for any kind of defense, any kind of war, or you can mention even the book name. Suppose this book has been written by this person and this talks about this one. You can mention like that. Otherwise, you can mention the data, like 20% of India are the BPL, the below poverty line, according to this statement. And you can mention the NITI Aayog report as well. See, NITI Aayog report. NITI Aayog report on education, NITI Aayog report on health, NITI Aayog report on the multidimensional poverty index, and NITI Aayog report on ranking of the states based on their investment. So you have to mention these kind of the statements or reports in the introduction. And the next part is the demand. You have to understand the demand in this one, and here you can mention the way forward. What we will do next. In the way forward, here you can mention like this. This is the hub and spoke model. You have to bring the creativity in your answers. It's not just of the text. It's about how you tell, and you use the maps as well. So this is the maps. And whenever you want to show something, you can show this is the Nilgiri. But this is enough. You can mention a graph in a very smaller manner, and you can mention the common graphs like this one. This is ethics. This is rules. This you can mention ethical rules. This is very simple one, but this kind of diagrams has to be put. Suppose there is the BPL family, like 28% were there, now it's around 18%. This is 2025, this is 2012. Here you can mention BPL in India. So this is enough. You have to draw the diagrams like this, very simple one, but there should be there for the value addition. And this is the main statement of the question. Then you are making the way forward. After you can mention 1 or 2 or 3 lines of the conclusion. See, conclusion. See, conclusion should always be optimistic. It should be of 3 to 4 lines. This should be balanced one. Suppose if I take the question of this one, Indian agriculture only. What are the problems of Indian agriculture? Whenever you want to write the conclusion, you can mention EIDF, Agricultural Infra Development Fund, will cater to capital expenditure in agriculture. That will hopefully solve problems of agriculture. See, this is you have concluded. Like Indian agriculture has been good for India, and it has been contributing to employment. It is contributing to the food security, and it will a positive step if we implement the Agricultural Infra Development Fund (AIDF). So this is the conclusion. Otherwise, you can mention agriculture is the backbone of this country, and it has to sustain. Otherwise, you can mention if agriculture fails, then the country fails. That was the statement by M.S. Swaminathan. So that's the agriculture. You have to give the priority to the topic which has been there. So, and into and conclusion, it's not the mandatory. The first thing is it's not the mandatory. And in the UPSC examination, there is no clear-cut guidance that how the answer should be, and there is no direction from the UPSC that there should be intro, and there is no direction from the UPSC that there should be conclusion. No, it's not there. But this is what the general parameters, what the everybody writes, and that has been time tested as well. The many people has written and the toppers they got the marks as well based on this one. And this is logical also. Whenever you're writing the answer, the intro and the conclusion should be there. That's what the major one. You just see the answer copies of Aditya Srivastav, rank 1, how he has written the answers, and then you can try to write that. Then we will talk about how frequent we have to write main answers. See, whenever you are starting one particular topic, suppose you have read around 30%, 40% of the syllabus, or even the 50% of the syllabus, then that's the right time to start answering the question. And it does not mean that you have to complete 100% of the syllabus, then you are going to read. No, it's not required. Why means, in particular the history questions, they always of the World War. How the World War is there, how it is the impact, what are the reasons which has caused. For that 1 or 2 questions, you need not to read entire the topic, and you need not to remember all those facts. That's not required, because that's not being asked in the UPSC examination at all. So that's why the importance of the PYQ is highest. Whenever whenever you are reading any topic, you just see what are the PYQs which has been asked in that question. And if you are doing the PYQ for last 2 to 3 years, that's enough. No need for taking the PYQ for 20, 30 years is not required at all. Only you just take the 2 to 3 years of the PYQ and just see in that topic how the questions has been framed, what is the main demand of the question, how they are asking the question. And when the question they are being asked, when you have the 30 or 40% of the syllabus, then you can start writing the answer. And how to start writing the answer? In the first day, if you are writing the first answer, see, if you are writing the first answer, don't follow the time limit at all. Like 7 minutes for the 10 mark questions, 11 minutes for the 15 mark questions. You just avoid the time limit. You just write whatever the time you want, you just write the question. And just answer it on. Then gradually, if you are doing 1 or 2 questions per day, after that, after the 1 week, see, if you are doing for the first week, and you write 1 or 2 questions, that's it. And after the 1 week, if you are done like 2 or 3 weeks, then you just increase the question 3 or 4 per day. You are writing the 3 or 4 questions, and after that the evaluation is the must. When you are writing the answer, then after the writing one question, answer to that question, then you evaluate your own self with the model answer. How your answer has been different from the model answer. Then you recorrect that one and you value add that one. Then in the second day when you are writing the answer, you have to see what are the mistakes you have done in the earlier the answer. Then you have to incorporate that one. Then in the second week, third week or the fourth week, then you increase the number of the questions. Here you just don't take the time limit at all. You just mention what is the time limit you have, then you go with that. Like after 4 or 5 weeks, then you just put a time limit. Not strict one, but average one. Suppose there is 7 minutes for the 10 mark question. You just take 10 minutes also. It's okay. Even there is 7 minutes you have to write, but you take the 10 minutes, not an issue. And you just write the answer. Then after like 3 or 4 weeks already done, then after 8 or 9 weeks, suppose there are 2 or 3 months already over now. Then you take the 6 questions and put the time limit. Suppose 7 minutes is there for 10 marker, you just put the 8 minutes, other 9 minutes, 10 marker questions. You are now reducing the time as well, and you are increasing the number of the questions. And you just after that, after 4 or 5 months, you just write a full length. Then you write the full length. This is what you have to follow. It should be the gradual one. The number of the questions you are taking, you take the gradual one. And first time you don't put the time limit. After certain amount of the time, you put the time limit. That is the not that much stricter one. After that, you can put exactly the time limit with the full length paper. This is you have to do in a 3 or 4 months. This is what the answer is. And second thing, it's never required to complete 100% of syllabus. And even today, when I qualify this examination, I have not completed the complete syllabus of the GS1, never completed the complete syllabus for GS3, and never ever the GS4. This is what the examination is. And you have to pick and choose the questions which has been completely again and again asked by the UPSC, and there are some certain areas they will directly ask. So, and so we will talk about what should be there. There is answers. See, when you are writing the answer, then there should be reports. Reports of national importance or international one. Suppose there is a WHO report, there is a WTO report, or there is a World Economic Forum report, and there is some UNESCO report. So, an IPCC report, and World Meteorological Organization report. So these are the kinds of the reports you will quote in your answer. With respect to the national reports, you can mention about the Law Commission. What is the recommendation of the Law Commission? And second, you can mention the Niti Aayog. You can mention about other committees which have been formed. Suppose the Shanta Kumar committee is there. Then second ARC is there. Sarkariya Commission. So these are the national level and the state level, that the reports which has been published by the government, and even the civil society NGO you can put. Suppose there is ASAR report by NGO Pratham. This is on education. This is annual status of education report. So you can put such a report, whether it's a national or international importance. In your answer, you will mention the reports. And secondly, you will mention the maps. Here again, the maps may be national one, international one, or it might be of the region particularly. You can mention. This is global as well, and it might be the national, and it may be the state level, as and when the required. And this is the first report, and second is the map. Third, the graphs. See, graphs may be anything, bar graph, pie chart, whatever it may be. So you can mention any kind of a graph, and then after the graph, you can mention the books written by some person. And fourth one, the quotes. So Gandhiji said that one, earth has everything for the human need, but it does not have which is for the human greed. So this is a quote by the Mahatma Gandhi with respect to environmental sustainability. You can mention that quote. So this is the quotes. So first the reports, the graphs, whatever the kind of graph it may be. Then you are making the books or the personalities quoting. Then you can just do the quotes, whatever they have been made. So this should be there in your answer. And after that, you just put a suggestion how it can be improved and what can be done for that one. So this is the main for the what can be needed for the answer writing. Then after that one, topper's answers and model answers. See, here, whenever you write the question, suppose this is the question, you have written one question. After your question, you just take the topper answers. The many number of the toppers, they have uploaded their the answers in their various platform. You will get that one, and you just analyze that one, how your answer is different from the topper, and what the topper has been incorporated, that what you have missed. So after that, the model answers are available. Like many coaching institutes, they provide the model answer. You just take the model answer from them, and you just see where you are making the issue. And first thing, otherwise you can choose a mentor where you can get your questions slightly evaluated. For that one, the EVA IAS is there, where it is the mains answer checking portal, where you can upload your answer so that you can get a proper feedback in a correct manner. So these are the ways. The first one is self-evaluation. Second, the third-party evaluation you can do, and any person who has been selected, you can just send your answer so that you get the feedback. So this is the way. And always remember, you have to evaluate your answer. Must. The people, what they will do is they are not evaluating. They just write the answer and they will leave. No, it's not that one. You have to know whether whatever you have writing, is it with respect to the demand of the UPSC or not. That should be there. And then after that one, how we should read. See, whenever you are reading, there are hardly just 8 to 9 hours everybody read per day. How should you schedule? You can make the slots of 2 to 3 hours. Suppose you are waking up at 6 o'clock. 6 to 8 or 6 to 9, 2 or 3 hours. You read some particular topic, suppose the polity you are reading. Then after that, you take a break, and after that 9:30, you just take 11:30. Here again the 2 hours. Here you read a different topic now. If you are reading the same topic, you might get bored. So after the 2 hours, you can change the topic. and even the way you are studying. Suppose you are reading by the book, and second, third, you can just watch the videos as well. Some the essay videos, or some even the ethics videos, or even like your optional videos you can watch. Now you are reading the book, you can just taking the videos, and then after that you can do some maths as well, the CSAT. Like after my lunch time, 2 to 3 p.m. Afternoon, I used to do the CSAT for 1 hour. Like because that time is a boring one and you feel the sleepy, so you can do the maths one at that time. And after that, in the evening time, you just always see the maps. Maps, even the articles of the Indian Constitution, and some many facts. So in the evening time, in your mobile phone, you can have the different tabs where you have opened the articles of Indian Constitution, where you have opened any some reports or any some which is a factual thing. So that you can make, and after that you can just whenever you get the time, you can just scroll through this one. So because you have to do the repeated reading. For me, there is for the Indian agriculture, there is a separate topic called pathology and entomology. So I had different tabs. I had open one for the pathology, one for the entomology, and I had to read the insect name, how it is causing the issues. That is the way. Like you have to memorize every time. So these kind of things you can make, and you have the proper group discussion as well with your friends, 2 or 3 people discussing about the topic, writing the main answer and checking among the source. So these kind of things you can do. So this is the overall about the UPSC answer writing for the mains examination. And the first thing is you have to start writing the answer, because until and unless you are writing the answer, you won't be able to realize like where you are making the mistake. If you just go upon just reading the things, you won't be able to write that one. So always think and start writing the answer now only. Don't wait for your prelims to get clear, then I will go for the answer writing. No, because these days hardly 2 months time is there. Within that you can't even revise the things. Leave about the starting answer. So now it's the time to join the EVA IAS or any the coaching institution where you can get evaluated your answers, and you write continuously. Then you get the feedback. After that, it will the time will come when you get the things cleared, and you can directly go and do the examination. So all the best for all the candidates here, and you try to subscribe the EVA IAS for your mains answer writing. All the best. Thank you.